top China news story as we record this podcast.
You know, China has a reputation for having some things that are fake.
Yeah.
Including, apparently, the biggest waterfall.
Yes, the longest uninterrupted waterfall in China.
Yeah, a guy climbed to the top of it and saw it was just water spewing out of a pipe.
Yeah, and then he took this video of the water spewing out of the pipe. And so it made a huge... There's like
Splash.
a huge splash on the internet. There was like a big backlash, right, about how could this, waterfall that's like is supposed to be this like great natural, wonder is actually
Its
water
reputation has fallen so far.
being piped out of... God, I see what she did there. Yeah. But so then the people who were running the tourist attraction of the waterfall came out and were like, we just put it in so that there would be a waterfall during the dry season. Like, there is a real waterfall here, but it just dries up. So to make sure that people aren't disappointed if they come during the dry season, we decided to, like, pipe more water.
Instead of just it being a seasonal attraction.
Yeah, instead of being a seasonal attraction. Like, the whole story just seems peak China.
Right.
In a way, because it's also like, okay, then it became a big enough backlash that local officials had to come and investigate. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the government...
Imagine being that official. It's a pipe. Found it.
Yeah, it's just like the idea that, like, they have to come
Detective
to
D.
make sure that, like, the people know that the government is doing something about this.
Don't worry, we're in charge.
And what it reminds me of is in 2008, ahead of the Beijing Summer Olympics, the party officials were spraying grass with green spray paint to make it greener. And it's like the same excuse, like, oh, it's naturally grass there. We're just enhancing it a little bit. But like, you're spray painting it. Like, that's not grass. And this is the same thing. And I think what's interesting about why is there a public backlash is because people are frustrated with a lot of the, like, two-facedness of the party and what party officials do. But this is an instance where it's not political.
Right, it's a waterfall.
Right.
And it wasn't like the local government effed up. It was like the people who were...
So there can be a scapegoat.
Yeah.
But it's venting this pent-up anger at this, like,
kind
lying,
of like,
two-faced system.
Yeah, like the fakery of Chinese society that a lot of people don't like. Like, Chinese people don't like buying counterfeit stuff. You know what I mean?
It's melamine-tainted milk.
Yeah, like the melamine milk. Like there was like a bunch of food scares after that about like fake rice or fake, like.
And it still goes on today.
Like
sewer, gutter oil.
Yeah, so there's just like, but like things like gutter oil, the CCP take care of because it's reputationally damaging but like people still don't trust, that like it's not gutter oil that's just been like filtered gutter oil or whatever, because there were videos of how people would filter it. And it's just like, okay, nobody likes living in the society where
you can't trust anyone.
You can't trust anyone. You can't, like, everybody seems to out to get to each other because that's how,
all the people
living there in fear,
lying to each other and cheating each other.
Yeah.
To get their own because they've grown up in an environment of scarcity because the government has taken everything from them.
Yeah, which I think is something to draw out. Like, there is not like something fundamentally wrong with the Chinese people. This is a result of a communist system.
And it takes a long time to detox from it. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but like even when you get to like a free society, I think I may have told this story before about how my parents, when I was a kid, would tell me never tell anybody outside the family anything that we do inside the family. And it wasn't like they were secretly beating me or something like that. It was because they were afraid that like anything could be weaponized by people because that is how they grew up in China. Like,
anything can be weaponized.
Yeah. So it was just like that paranoia just takes a long time to get rid of, and so does even like the weird way you think about things, where like you think that you don't just think that everyone's out to get you, but also you tend to think of like human relationships as very transactional in a certain sense, where like you're just like, how can I get the how can I not be the one that is the loser in this situation? Because if I'm not trying to cheat this person's trying to cheat me. It's
And if you understand that attitude, you'll understand Dark Forest very well.
so yeah, it is interesting to see like the cultural things that come out of like a society that's been under communism, and like a lot of this stuff is like stuff that you cannot maybe say outright in a certain way, so it can come out in art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And public reactions to incidents like the Waterfall.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah, I think that's like people are fed up.
Yeah.
And it's a small thing, so it's not like I'm not saying that like this Waterfall situation makes it seem like the Chinese people like hate the CCP. Like that's not really
But they hate to varying degrees the system that they are stuck in. Maybe in some cases without recognizing that the original source is fed through a pipe in Zhongnanhai.